So the first that we are going to look at here is the temperature sensors. Okay, temperature sensors. We really need to look at them to know that, to be sure that they are actually giving us the required output. So if you look at this sensor, be it thermocouple or what have you, okay, look at their data sheet, you'll see that when you subject them to specific temperature, a definite amount of voltage or output is expected from these two terminals. Okay, so what we want to do during calibration is to subject these thermocouples or these temperature sensors to those temperatures and see if we will have those outputs from these terminals. If we have the output and they are within tolerable limits, then we can continue using the instruments or the sensors. But if they are not, we change them all together. Okay, so we'll just look at it. Basically, simply what you do is that you subject the thermocouple to known condition, like the boiling point now of water. We know it's 100 degrees Celsius. Then the freezing point of water, okay, freezing temperature we know is 0 degree Celsius. So that's what we have here. So measuring the resistance from the sensor as you heat up the fluid. So you see, when you take it to 12.3 degrees Celsius, this is the resistance. Take it to this is the resistance. Take it to this is the resistance. So it has a negative coefficient. So you compare this with what we have on the data sheet, the resistance table of that particular RTD, resistance temperature detector. Okay, so if they are within range, fine. They are within limit, fine. But if not, it means that we need to replace those temperature sensors. So here we have the temperature indicator. Okay, then this is the calibrator. Are we getting it? So when we subject both of them to the same condition, as you can see here, okay, we are supposed to have the same output. That is the output that will correspond to 100 degrees Celsius if we heat this to 100 degrees Celsius, which means that if the master meter is giving us 100 degrees, this is supposed to give us 100 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is the thermocouple reading and the calibrator reading are different, and we'll see the errors. So if they are within tolerable limits, they are acceptable. Okay, so you see when the thermocouple is 23, the calibration thermometer reading is 23.5. Are we getting it? So they are very close together. Okay, which means that it is acceptable. So here is a heating bath that we can use for calibration. Okay, so here we can increase the temperature of the heating bath. We drop the instrument, okay, into, that is the gauge, temperature gauge, with the sensor into the bath, okay, or the calibrator, and then we look at the temperature reading, which is the standard. This now becomes our master meter, okay, which is 22.89 degrees Celsius. And then when we look at the reading here, we see it's about 24, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, okay. So it's about 24 degrees Celsius. So if it is within limit, fine. If not, we make correction or adjustment. Okay, we'll do zero and span adjustment. That is, we subject it to, that is when the temperature of the bath is 0. We'll look at the temperature on the gauge. Okay, if it is 0, fine. If it is not, we'll make adjustment. Then we heat the bath to about 100 degrees Celsius. Then we'll look at the temperature on the gauge. If it is 100, fine. If it is not, we make the necessary adjustment.